From the outset, it has been crystal clear that the federal government's initiatives on firearms have had nothing to do with public safety. A thriving business sector is a vital part of the firearms community and has for decades provided thousands of well-paid jobs across the country that have enabled skilled workers to provide for their families while supporting activities they love, such as hunting, target shooting, and the collection and preservation of historical artifacts. Federal measures have created threat after misguided threat to the livelihoods of these dedicated, hard-working business people and their employees. In May 2020, the federal government froze millions of dollars worth of inventory in place, requiring businesses to continue to finance product that they were forbidden to sell. The freeze on handgun transfers and proposals to ban almost all modern and many traditionally styled hunting and sporting firearms have deprived them of their most saleable products at the time that ongoing supply chain issues have made it difficult to obtain the few things they are still allowed to sell. Federal attacks on this industry are forcing its members to sell their frozen inventory to the federal government. As it appears that the federal announcement this morning had no detailed document or financing behind it, we do not even know whether they will consider the financing and storage costs dealers have paid to keep stock that they cannot sell. These entrepreneurs established their businesses to safely provide the firearms community with the equipment it needs to continue the long, honorable tradition of firearms ownership in communities large and small all across this great country. They should not be forced to turn their stocks over to the federal government at massive expense to Canadian taxpayers. We call on the federal government to reverse its punitive measures against the firearms community and allow businesses to sell their inventory to carefully vetted Canadians for the sporting purposes they were made for, and not to the federal government for needless destruction. Thank you.
What's next then between the province and the federal government on this issue? Like, what is the province? What can it do to stand up for the rights of gun owners in Alberta?
Well, I'm hoping to find out more about that tomorrow. I have a meeting with Public Safety Canada tomorrow, at which hopefully they will provide me with some information on what their plan is, because up to now we have absolutely no indication that the federal government has any plan or any provision for financing or any actual concrete steps in mind. And until we know what they plan to do, it's hard for us to respond. We do have both the Alberta Firearms Act and a couple of regulations in place that will be the start of enabling us to respond to federal government actions to ensure that whatever program the federal government does decide to implement is carried out in a manner that does not pose threats to public safety and that ensures that the property rights of Albertans are respected as much as they can be given the misguided nature of the federal program. But right now, the ball is squarely in the federal government's court to actually tell Canadians and Albertans in particular what exactly it is they plan to do. My personal belief is they don't know.